And now you can see the Anime and Alcohol Show in all its video glory on our YouTube page at roughedge.tv. It's tiki time at Harbor Cove Cafe. Dive into the tropical paradise at the end of Spinnaker Drive in Ventura with vibrant drinks, delicious bites, award-winning fish and chips, and more. Now featuring extended hours and great happy hour specials. Harbor Cove Cafe, the hidden treasure at the end of Spinnaker Drive. Visit harborcovecafe.net for more information. It's Sunday morning, 8 a.m. That means it's time to drink some beer and talk some anime and other stuff. This is the Anime and Alcohol Show, live here on Rough Edge FM, with your host, Devin Crow. One job.
We gotta add to
one job.
Add
I
to the
can't get there
stage.
in time. But I'm there now, so that's what really matters. So this is the Anime and Alcohol Show, and we got lots to talk about today.
Yeah, lots to talk about.
Last night we didn't. Today we do.
Yeah, I'm exhausted. I had a stupid school thing, and they were doing like feed the teachers morning or some shit like that for school leadership.
Now let me just interrupt here real quick, because I just want you guys to keep in mind this is a thing they're doing just to be nice. They're going to feed the teachers. Most people are going to bring scrambled eggs or bacon. Devin, what did you make?
I made black garlic and truffle seasoned scrambled eggs.
See, a little gourmet dish going on there from Devin Crow.
Yeah.
And was it a success? Did you get
Yeah, it was enjoyed.
feedback?
Yeah. Oh, what up, Andrew? Andrew's here. It was funny because so Colette brings me this whole list of fucking shit that you can choose from, right? She shows me, and of course, right when we get home from Costco, she shows me this. But I wouldn't have got it at Costco anyways because it was a week away. But anywho, so the option on there, or the teacher was saying he was bummed because the kids that normally make like the eggs and hash browns they graduated and moved on to high school now.
Oh,
so they were bummed that they're not going to make them anymore. So I was like, oh well, I'll make those. And I was like, well, because it was like 2 kids each to make hash browns and eggs. Eggs and hash browns are very inexpensive.
good.
So I was like, hey, ask him if I can make all the eggs and all the hash browns. And the teacher was like ecstatic.
I bet.
Like ecstatic. He was like, oh my God, yes, please. Thank you so much. And I went to Costco and I bought 8 dozen eggs. And I got Mexican blend cheese as well for some of them.
Tasty.
And then I went over to Trader Joe's and I got 50 of those little hash brown squares. All in all, it cost me like $20
to feed all the teachers.
Yeah, 8 dozen eggs and 50 hash browns. So it was like
to feed all the teachers a gourmet dish.
Yeah, the hash browns I think was $12, and the eggs and cheese was like another $12, $25 in the whole.
That was very nice of you.
And so I was like, well, we're always raving about the eggs. I was like, I want to make them, I want to make them be like, man, we really wish Colette was still here, And so a few days before, I made a little test batch with the eggs that we had in our fridge it's a Kinder's Prime steak seasoning, and it's black garlic, truffle, and then like a buttery flavoring in there too, and so on and so forth. So I wanted to test it to see like how much do I put in there, if it tastes good, and so on and so forth. It tasted great. It tasted fantastic.
Yeah.
So Friday morning rolls around, and I woke up at like 3:30 and I could not go back to sleep. So I was like, because we were going to wake up at like 5 and start making everything. Really glad I actually woke up early, because the eggs alone took an hour to cook.
Yeah, you sent me a text. How long does it take to scramble?
If you've ever wondered how long it takes to scramble 8 dozen eggs,
it's an hour.
It's an hour. And then like 5-10 minutes went by, and then Scott was like, wait, why are you telling me this? This is weird. And So I made those, and then I made the hash brown. I actually made the eggs on a pan in the kitchen, because I didn't want to deal with the Blackstone because it's a little off center. So like I just wanted to even cook on all of them. And then what I did is I cracked half of the 8 dozen, so 4 dozen eggs, in a bowl, mix the seasoning in, and then cook those without cheese, and then did the other half with cheese. Because I wanted to, if anybody had dietary restrictions or
Sure, and you
couldn't
don't
have
know.
dairy and so on and so forth. So I wanted options for everyone. And normally I like to cook my hash browns in bacon grease, but obviously for dietary, religious reasons and so on and so forth, I cooked it in just regular cooking oil. But hash browns are kind of my Achilles heel. I'm not great at cooking hash browns.
Really?
I'm not. I tend to burn them, so I was like really careful with the temperatures and keeping it very low and all this other shit. They actually came out really good.
Did you fry them up in a pan or something? Or how'd you make them?
I did those on the Blackstone.
Okay.
Because 50 hash browns, I need as much surface area.
What's the difference of the Blackstone? Is it just a griddle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just the big griddle, but I didn't want to deal with the eggs like shifting to one side on the Blackstone. But with the Blackstone, I could put 10 hash browns on the Blackstone, no problem, and cook those, 4 or 5 batches, and do 4 or 5 batches, and I'll be all done.
Aren't those hash browns designed to be made in the toaster?
Are they? They're a little small for a toaster.
Yeah, I know, but I think that's the case. Not that that would work, by the way. Can you imagine how gross your toaster would be after 50 of those?
God, Jesus.
Yeah.
It would take me hours to cook those things on a toaster.
Yeah.
2 at a time.
Exactly.
So I did all that, and I'm actually really glad I started everything at 4 a.m. because it took an hour just for the eggs and another, I don't know, 35, 40 minutes for the hash browns. So
got the next day all the teachers were out because they were all
food poisoning. I always season my hash brown with human feces, so cyclospora.
Yeah. Teachers seem very happy in reality.
And then the kids, the reason I made so many, because really more like 6 dozen eggs is about what will feed that amount of people. It's for 40 people, but the kids got to eat the leftovers, so I made extra of everything so the kids would still get something to eat in the morning too. So made all of that. Asked, Colette said everything was very yummy, so I said, and everyone was complimenting the hash browns, which I thought the problem with hash browns, you can fry them up and get them nice and crispy, but they're gonna sit in that pan and then they get soggy from it. So made those. Everything was good, but I was like dead tired. I fell asleep like 2 times on my bed. I fell asleep, and then Colette woke me up to go to her mom's work, and then I fell asleep again from like 1 to almost 6 o'clock. And then I fell asleep at bedtime. I fell asleep at like 10:30. And I was like, that's how I knew I was tired. My body's not made for that anymore.
I hate those days because you feel all grubby and gross. And it's like,
not only that, but Friday was the start of this heat wave that we're having right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we don't have AC. And so everything was just fucking hot and gross and miserable in the house. And yeah.
I think that the extra effort you went to was appreciated, because like when you told me that, I thought, wait, it's just teacher day. So it's nice enough just to make scrambled eggs and hash browns, but to make the black truffle season, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I forgot we have a special guest here today. You want to introduce him to the audience?
Oh, it's King Ghidorah
from McDonald's.
Yeah.
All I wanted was Godzilla. I want Godzilla.
Oh, it's Karopi. It's Karopi. Yeah, that's the little frog.
Oh, okay.
It's the Hello Kitty collab.
Yeah, exactly. And all I wanted was Godzilla. So I went to 4 different McDonald's, $7 a pop, mind you, to get these Happy Meals. I got 3 King Ghidorahs and 1 Rodan. No Godzilla.
You can ask them for Godzilla.
Some places you can, some places you can't. Yeah. So I just ordered one online. Screw it. Rather than pay $32 for McDonald's meals again, I just Order one online. Supposed to be here by Friday. So I'll introduce you to him next week.
Yeah. I saw a video of two sisters opening up Happy Meals, and they got 7 Godzillas.
Damn.
I got 7 Godzillas.
I
Yeah.
think that because I've bought them from all the McDonald's in Ventura County, and I think that they must get a shipment of one particular item, or mostly one particular item. Because, like I said, I got 3 Ghidorahs out of 4 meals, and my son did the same thing. So there's something going on about where they're all shipped to or whatever, but they're kind of fun.
Yeah. The Godzilla one's cool. Mothra's really cool. Destroya is really cool too. And then Space Godzilla. The other 4 are kind of derpy, but Space Godzilla is really neat too.
Yeah, Space Godzilla is pretty cool. I would have taken him. I'm not going to pay for him, but I would have taken that. But no, I got 3 Ghidorahs instead, which is 9 heads if you're counting.
Yeah. So there's big drama in the gaming community right now.
Is there really?
There's a individual that goes by the name of CyberLeaks, and he's got a little like cyberpunk outfit, like it's a leak, like the little leak with funny. A cyberpunk outfit on it. And he has hacked into Rockstar Games, and I think I read it was from India, which I think is ironic if it's true, if I'm correct. And they got into Rockstar through a phishing email, and he gained I don't know if it was a pre-release copy or something of Grand Theft Auto 6, and he has been steadily releasing these leaks onto Discord and I think Reddit. And Rockstar is not happy about this. And
of course not.
Yeah, Rockstar's not happy, but the purpose of this leak was because Grand Theft Auto 6 will have no physical copies, and it'll be 100% digital, which means you don't own the game.
Right.
And they're doing like these digital pre-orders, and pre-ordering digital is ridiculous because it's a digital copy. There's no need to pre-order digital games, unless you get something, extra content and stuff like that. But the whole purpose of pre-ordering games was to guarantee you secure a copy of the game, and so on and so forth. Oh, Elvis just fell. But anywho, apparently they've been trying to find this guy, and they've been subpoenaing Discord to get information on this guy. And then CyberLeak said that he has a kill switch on a full copy of Grand Theft Auto 6, and that if he doesn't check in and enter his code every designated amount of time, the full game gets released to the internet for free. And
boy, that's
to prevent him getting arrested.
Millions of dollars.
Oh, billions.
Yeah, that's insane.
I think GTA 5 did $1 billion in the first week of its release. So yeah,
that's gonna hurt.
Yeah, so
but if he really has a kill switch, who knows if it was some kind of a ploy or some kind of fake defense.
Do you take that risk though?
I don't know. You know what I would do if I was the Rockstar Games? I would pay the guy the money he wanted, or whatever it is that he wants in exchange for it, and then I would hire a mercenary. Just saying.
Jason Statham.
Yeah, he's still not going to check in, but at least you could maybe push the his illegal release forward enough that you could get your release out.
Did you see End of Oak Streak?
I did.
You did?
Yes.
I was just curious. We're talking about.
Did you get to see it yet?
I haven't seen it yet. Is it good?
It is good.
Okay, I want to see it.
Yeah, it is good. Things I liked about it were End of Oak Street is the new movie that's Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor and their neighborhood gets transported to the prehistoric past. I think they got the dinosaurs right as far as accuracy is concerned. I'm waiting to talk to Jeff from the Backseat Mogul show because he is a dinosaur expert.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to see if he agrees that the dinosaurs are real. Also, there's some real human elements in it, and a couple of real shocking moments.
Mm-hmm.
That it's pretty cool though. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I also saw Mutiny.
You didn't invite me. What the hell?
Well, because Shelley invited me.
Oh.
which is very odd. Do you want to go see Mutiny today? Does a Pope wear a pointy hat? Yeah, let's go. So, it's pure Jason.
Yeah.
There's bad guys wrong him. They shouldn't have wronged him. He kills them all. End of story. I'm happy camper.
End of story.
Yeah. So, I did see those. But do you think that CyberLeak's problem is the lack of physical media? Because so many people are like going to war over that.
Yes, that's what the main issue is with this is the lack of physical media.
And that's his point.
Yes, that's what he is. The statement he is making is that they're pushing pre-orders so hard for a digital copy, and before, the pre-orders was to get an idea of how much physical media needs to be printed and released and so on and so forth. And that they're pushing for this digital media, and there's zero reason to push the pre-orders because it's a digital copy.
Yeah,
there's no need for it.
That's true.
And so that's where he's getting at on this. And not only that, it's gonna be the most expensive Grand Theft Auto game released. I mean, I think the standard edition is gonna be $80.
Wow. And it's like the most popular game in the world, right?
Yeah, it's huge, absolutely massive.
So then, here's the thing: the physical media, people suddenly realize it took them this long. Suddenly realize, unless I've got a copy, they're really in control of everything.
Yeah,
and the same's been told of music CDs and movie DVDs and Blu-rays, and those are making a return. The sales are starting to creep back up, but is it too late?
I think it's too late. The problem is people got, because of the convenience, right? Because you don't have to go to Best Buy to get a copy of the movie. You don't have to go to Target or whatever it may be. You can just sit down and buy on Amazon, But that you don't own the game. You don't own the movie. And if something this is what I like about Steam. So if you buy a game on Steam and it's in your library, and for whatever it gets removed off of Steam, they only remove the ability to purchase it. If it's in your library, it stays in your library. You can open it up and play it. The only thing is, if servers and stuff get shut down, that's a different story.
Right.
But if for whatever reason Steam doesn't have a license, but it's still in your library, like there's a game, Dark Souls 2 Prepare to Die Edition, I think it is. That game's no longer, that version of Dark Souls 2 is no longer available on Steam. But if you purchased it, it's in your library and you can play it whenever you want.
As long as the server stays up.
Yeah. So, there's a single player mode too.
Oh, okay.
So you don't need a server first. Yeah.
That's the key. That's where it comes into play with the music CDs and movie DVDs. It's like, say the internet gets blown up by World War III. There's no internet whatsoever. You can still plug in a music CD and listen to it on a CD player. You can still sit down and watch a DVD or a Blu-ray in one of those players. What you can't do is go to Netflix and watch it.
Yeah.
And on a less aggressive note, if Netflix loses the rights to a movie and nobody else picks it up, that movie is basically unavailable to anybody.
Yeah.
But if you got a physical copy, you can watch it whenever you want.
Whenever you want. Yeah.
So I've pushed for physical media for years, and I've told people this is exactly what's going to happen, and now it's happening. And
well, there's a whole thing called Stop Killing Games. And
I saw that it's an organization.
Yes, it started in the UK, and it's come over to here now. And it all started with, I think, a game, one of the Need for Speed games, and they are shutting, even for physical discs, they're shutting down the servers for it, which makes the game unplayable. Well, people are like, well, I bought this game. What do you mean I can't play this game? Even on physical media, I can't play this game anymore. And it started a lawsuit because it violates the UK has very different rules than America
on everything.
Does. And so they were suing, and then it kind of turned into the Stop Killing Games movement. And what they were asking was not just to like maintain, because server maintain is very expensive, but they were essentially asking, let us create our own servers and host servers and so on and so forth to do things like that. And because like even when it comes to physical games, like you play this game, but you can't play it because they've shut down all the servers for it.
That's true.
And it's gained a lot of traction, and it lost in some areas, and I think it's still ongoing. There was a Twitch streamer. I can't remember his name, but he was a very, very popular Twitch streamer, and he used to work for Blizzard. He was very open about used to work for Blizzard, and he was against the Stop Killing Games movement, and which shocked people. Pirate Software, that's his name, Pirate Software, and he it was like the rise and fall of Pirate Software, because he was a very large Twitch streamer, and and he got caught doing another thing. Like his moderating team was during hype trains was like buying bits and donating, and then he was paying the moderators back, and basically padding and all this other stuff, and he fell off rather quickly because of that. But it started with his stance on Stop Killing Games, that developers should be able to just pull the plug on a game whenever they want, and so on.
And why pay for it? Why am I paying for it if you can pull the plug whenever you want?
Yeah, but
you know why? I'll tell you. I think I know why. It's because everything is shifting to this subscription basis now.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas instead of paying $80 for Grand Theft Auto 6, you're paying $30 a month.
Yeah. Well, I mean, World of Warcraft was the start of that.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. World of Warcraft was, the start of monthly subscription in gaming. Because there was a lot of MMO games that didn't require you to pay a monthly fee, and then World of Warcraft came out, and they're like, "Oh, we're going to require $9.99 a month, but you're going to have stable servers and this, and that, and blah blah blah." And it took off really big. And I can't remember who the first company was that did DLC, but fuck that company. Actually, I do. It was Oblivion. It was Bethesda with Elder Scrolls Oblivion, and they released a DLC, and it was stupid expensive. I want to say it was like $30 for a horse mount or something like that. And that was like the big start of DLC and downloadable content. And really it came into developers not releasing the full game to then charge another $30 for and it's to this day, it's so like the Persona 3 remake, right? Persona 3 Reload released, and they didn't. So when Persona 3 originally came out, it was Persona 3, and Atlas always re-releases the game with more content a few years later, and that came out, and it was Persona 3 FES, FES, and that came with additional content at the end of the game called The Answer, I believe, and you then took over as a character named Aegis, who was a character in Persona 3, and you explored this massive dungeon to find the answer of what is actually happening, and so on and so forth. I don't want to spoil the game. The game's been out since the fucking 2000s, but and they didn't release that with the remake, and they released it as DLC, and it was egregiously priced, like $30 something, $39.99 or something like that.
And how many copies did it sell?
I don't know exactly how many copies, but I can tell you it has a mostly negative review on Steam.
Really?
And they weren't happy with it. Like why, and here's the thing, they got bullied, and it goes on to Steam sales now. And I actually just picked it up because Atlas is having a big sale over that. And it was like $7.99. Like, I'll buy it for $7.99 and play through the game and get to the ending and the answer and so on and so forth. But with the announcement of Persona 4 remake happening, they decided let's do the additional content included in the game. So it's Persona 4 came out, and then they released Persona 4 Golden, which I believe was an exclusive for the PS Vita, which was the little handheld thing.
Yeah.
And so they are releasing the Persona 4 remake with Persona 4 Golden already included in the game. So it's the Persona 4 Golden version of it. So I think they learned their lesson with that.
I would hope so, but who knows? I mean, the way things go,
But Atlas is notorious, and I would rather have a re-release of a game with more content and play through the whole game again than buy DLC, because they add stuff that's in the base game. They did it with Persona 5, like they did Persona. It's not just like at the end of the game there's more content. It's they change the entirety of the game to add the content throughout the entirety of the game. So
it's scattered throughout the game.
It's scattered throughout the game. It's not something like, oh, you beat Persona 4, or you beat Persona 5. Now there's this extra content and this extra dungeon. They do things throughout the entirety of the game that changes it. But Persona 5 released, and then a couple years later, they did Persona 5 Royal. And so...
Well,
but it's a good way to boost sales on the same game by adding content throughout the game instead of making it just DLC. And Persona 5, the Persona series in general, I mean, the only game it would work for would be Persona 3, because it was the answer, and it was a labyrinth, and they added an extra character, but it was a labyrinth at the end of the game. It made sense and why it was at the end of the game. And and in Fest there was some additional differences in the game, but I
was just seeing if that guy had been arrested yet. Apparently not.
But the other games, there's like content mixed into it that makes it different, and so on and so forth. But I would much rather pay for the game again and get the additional content throughout the game, which raises why don't they just release the full game and not, a partial game, and so on and so forth. But again, I would much rather pay for it and play through and see what the differences are, and so on and so forth.
I don't know. It's everything's so much about squeezing every last dollar out now that a lot of things are getting the value, the quality is coming down because they're so intent with, okay, if we follow this algorithm, we'll make more money, even though the game won't be as good. We'll make more money by doing this algorithm thing. And it's like, can't you just do it one way or something? I get the downloadable content. That's why they put bonus tracks on CDs that you can't buy on Spotify or elsewhere. But at the same time, is the gaming world, is the quality of games being hurt by this practice?
Yes, 100%.
So there you go.
It's not only that, but there's so much shady shit that goes on with the video game industry, like releasing the full game for it to just be full of bugs and messes and stuff like that. Cyberpunk was definitely one of those victims of it, but it wasn't necessarily CD Projekt Red either that was guilty of this, because CD Projekt Red wanted to keep postponing Cyberpunk because it wasn't finished, and they got bullied by the internet and the investors into releasing it, and they were like, okay, and then they released it, and it was an unfinished mess, and it got massive backlash over releasing an unfinished game. And I was one of the few people that was like, this is what you guys wanted, though. Like, they said it wasn't ready. Like, they said the game wasn't ready, and you guys were like, no, we want the game now. Investors were like, no, you have to release this game now. We've paid lots of money into this, and blah, blah, blah. And then it gets fucking review bombed because it's an unfinished mess, and it's full of bugs and glitches and so on and so forth. And I will say one thing that CD Projekt Red does really, really well is continually updating their games. The Witcher 3 had tons of bugs in it when it released. There's infamous pictures of Roach the horse being, spawning on top of a house, and they go through and they patch it and they hotfix and so on and so forth, and they're really good about it. And now Cyberpunk, what was that?
Refrigerator went off in the power. We've had some power issues here.
Oh.
When the refrigerator recycles or starts again, the camera goes out for a split second. I know it's weird. Anytime something is rushed, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
I can think of two examples in the film industry. One was the sequel to Babe, the pig movie.
Mm-hmm.
The director, who's one of the world's greatest directors, George Miller, who did the Mad Max movies, he kept telling the studio, it's not ready yet. And they said, we don't care. It's Thanksgiving weekend. We want it in theaters. And he's all, but I'm not done. And he released it and it tanked because it wasn't done. It didn't get good reviews. And it's following a classic. No matter what anybody says, Babe is a classic film.
Yeah.
And it tanked because of that. And the other example just went out of my head, but it's the same kind of thing. You can't rush it to get it into, especially in theaters where people are going to go see it once and then not go back. A video game, at least they might go back and play.
Yeah.
But a movie you've blown it already. But it was Cats, the movie Cats, the biggest play of all time in a theatrical form, and they rushed it so fast that there was unfinished animation. Then they had to remove all the buttholes because they were just deemed too offensive. You've seen Cats, right?
No.
I mean actual the animal.
Yes.
They enjoy showing their butthole, right?
Yes. Cats are notorious slashers.
That's what you got to do that. So we're pugs, by the way.
Yeah.
But it just too many suits often ruin the recipe. And
yes.
That just happens. And you see it time and time again. And it's all about making as much money as you possibly can and forgetting that it's the quality of the product that brings people back.
Yeah. At least with video games, they can do hot fixes, within a few hours but yeah, it just sucks that, and it's funny because like it's always AAA game titles and companies that do this, that release this game that's completely unfinished, and then they complain about the fans. They complain about the fans that are complaining about their game being unfinished and so on and so forth, and they call us ungrateful. And then these indie game studios, like the company, like the studio that made Expedition 33, right? This was a team of like 20 people, made this phenomenal game, completely polished. I'm not saying it was bug free or anything else like that, but comparatively to some of these AAA game titles that get released that are borderline unplayable at times, you have these AAA, these small developers releasing this amazing game, and then they're like, oh well, AAA game titles are like, oh well, these gamers are just too snobby, and they want this and they want that, and then you're like, well, this company with 20 people made this amazing game that won fucking like 12 Game of the Year awards with a team of 20 people.
How many people on your team?
Yeah.
And how many people are on a team? Say Grand Theft Auto.
Hundreds of people working on this game. Multiple studios and multiple locations across the world are working on this game, and so on and so forth. And it's just like, we just want to play a game. We just want to feel immersed and play a game and not constantly worry about, whether the game's going to crash or it's going to freeze at random times, or we get stuck in a bug that makes progression impossible. And, just recently, Dreamlight Valley. Have you heard of this game? So Dreamlight Valley is like a Disney's version of a little cozy, build up a town kind of thing, kind of like Animal Crossing, but Disney's version of it. And you play this character and you're fixing up this town, and gives you this big map, and you befriend Disney characters throughout it and stuff. Well, Josephine is a big fan of this game, and they did a new update where it added this new mission to get Peter Pan or some shit like that.
Really?
And she was going through it, and she was getting really frustrated because the game bugged out and she could not progress through this mission because there's supposed to be a lantern, and you have to catch Peter Pan's shadow, and there's 3 lanterns, and you're supposed to point it, and you're supposed to point all 3 lanterns in this, but the lantern didn't spawn, but it said it spawned. But you have to adjust the lantern so you catch Peter Pan's shadow, and then you go talk to the shadow, and so on and so forth. And she's like stressing out over this fucking thing. And I was like, all right, well, let me see what's going on. So then what's the first thing I do when I'm stuck on a game or something's going on? I go to Reddit to see if there's some kind of bug. And I didn't know this was like a recent thing. And I go on and I was like, oh, well, shit, like fucking, a few hundred people are having this same exact problem with this mission. I was like, oh shit, this was like 2 hours ago. And Josie was like, yeah, this update just happened. And I was like, oh, well, looks like there's a big bug.
Sounds like a bad place for a bug.
They waited over a week to fix it. And I was like, oh, there'll probably be a hot fix for it tomorrow or in the next couple of days. No, it was almost over a week before they fixed this. And there's hundreds of people having this problem on Reddit that can't progress through this mission.
They can't play their game until...
they can't progress to this specific mission to get a new partner to join the island or whatever bullshit. And fucking Disney, literally I would say the biggest company in the world. They own everything now, and they wait over a week to fix this problem. Like,
now, did they actually wait a week, or did it take them a week to figure it out?
Here's the thing. So, like,
you would think with
I think they just waited a week.
Yeah, because
they do their updates every Wednesday or some shit like that. So they just waited to the following week. But like, if someone's having a problem, you hot fix it.
Yeah, and if there's 1,000 people having a problem, you better hot fix it quick.
Yeah, it's just a hot fix. That's all it is. It's just a hot fix. And be like, oh, yep, this issue's happening. This item's not spawning properly or not spawning in the proper location. Hot fix it. Boom, it's out. But yeah, apparently it was like a week, almost 2 weeks before it got fixed.
I read an article once about how video games and software are the only industry where you can release something that's not ready to be released and get away with it.
Happy Sunday there, Corey.
Happy Sunday. And I think there's some truth to that, but you're not getting away with it either.
Yeah.
People are suffering and they're not happy about it. So
but that's why, these indie game development companies, they release these games, and when there's issues, it gets fixed within 24, 48 hours. You see a patch.
So how can they do it so quickly and Disney waits a week?
Yeah.
Disney with its unimaginable power behind it.
He says he can't drink, but I raise my cup.
I don't drink, but I'll raise my can. Wait, that sounded bad.
Yeah.
I'm not going to raise my can. I'm going to raise my Coke Zero.
Oh yeah. Speaking of drinking, are we going to try that Malort infused sardines?
No.
I've sent you a couple of that dude's videos, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I think I was looking at follow-ups to it. Yeah, I found this video last night where Malort, which already is the alcohol that tastes like burning tires
and earwax.
Some guy decided to make to infuse it with sardines. Now, if you find that on Instagram, you will notice that he has a hard time drinking it.
Yeah.
I would have a hard time even looking at it. I don't even mind sardines, but sardines and Malort? No, I don't think so. So Corey asks Devin in the chat room, join us in the chat room. What does he ask you?
Did you ever think OG working on video game back in the day or in the future? No, I never thought about working on video games ever.
I had a relative, trying to be careful here, who was offered a job testing video games. It was a pretty good job, paid good money, but he decided to go to jail instead. So,
oh well,
yeah. But I thought, that'd be a great gig if you could get it.
I did get invited to a beta play test of a game that's having a beta test week right now for a game called War Dogs.
War Dogs?
Yeah, and it's a Call of Duty Battlefield-esque type of game.
Did you not do it?
You were a Q&A tester for 2 years. I accepted the beta, so I just need to download it into my Steam library. Here's
that quality assurance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's the problem, that I think a lot of people have with being Q&A testers or beta testing games and reporting and stuff. People think that that's an awesome job, but it fucking sucks. And correct me if I'm wrong, Corey, but like when your whole job is to play a specific video game or a portion of a video game and then report back, Like, it's not fun. It's like working at GameStop. Kids would come in all the time and be like, "Oh, this must be an amazing place to work." And you're like, "No, it fucking sucks." It's not like, "Oh yeah, loved it. Tedious." Yeah, my mind was in dorkiness took over. Oh yeah. Yeah, you're playing a broken product. Like, you're not having fun. You're not having fun playing this game, and then you have to write reports on this game, and then you have to go back and then try to recreate what happened, and like, if this bug recreates, X amount of times, yeah, this needs to get fixed. If it, doesn't recreate and it was just a kind of a one-off random thing, you're like, okay, we can probably make that a pass. But like being a Q&A tester or a beta tester for games is not a glamorous job. You sit at home and play a portion of a video game. You're
And
basically
I imagine
told
you play it over and over.
over and over and over again. Like, you're just told you have to play X level to X level and then report any issues. X level to X level, report any issues. And it's just like over and over and over. You have 8 hours of just constantly playing this fucking game and reporting issues over and over. And then they're like, okay, we think we fixed them. Now play that area again over and over and over
again.
And you're just like, oh my God. Like I said, it's the same thing like working at fucking GameStop. People think it's the funnest thing in the world. And you're like, no, it's a fucking job. No, we don't play video games all day.
Corey says, I had a blast. It was a puzzle. I found some game killers too. They drove me to one DEV team one time before I had a car.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I don't have the attention span for that. So like,
you're the kind of guy who needs to be outside working. You can't
now. Yeah, I'm spoiled now.
You couldn't sit at a desk.
No.
Yeah.
No, the majority
Since I've known you.
Yeah, the majority of my career I was in retail. So and now doing what I do now, running Crow's Pest Solutions, I couldn't imagine a job outside of what I do. And like, I've always been passionate about bugs my entire life. So like, that was always one thing I was very passionate about. And, finding a job where not only can I educate people on bugs, but, I'm outside, I'm in charge. I mean, even when I worked for Red Diamond, I was still outside. I was still mostly in control of my schedule, but I wasn't stuck in an office and, the freedom of, going to and from and then heading home kind of thing, and not being in an office or cooped up somewhere is very nice. And,
yeah, it's a different world.
It's a different world. It really is.
I know what you mean. I had a friend who wrote for a local paper. Now she does online stuff on her own. But anyway, I saw her at an event at the fair one time, and they were
yeah, you can call me Crow.
They were serving some kind of foods that she was sampling, and I said, "You must have the best job in the world." She goes, "It's just work. I have to eat this stuff whether I like it or not, and it gets tedious, to use Corey's word. It gets tedious." And I never thought of it that way. I thought, hey, let's go have fun, drink beer and all that. But if you have to go do it, it's like, you might want to go do something else, but you're stuck doing this for your job.
Yeah.
So
it's just like when you turn something into just a tedious task that you have to do, it stops getting like, initially it's enjoyable, but like over time it's just tedious, and you get resentful, and you're just like, I don't want to eat this, but I have to eat this. I don't want to play this, but I have to play this.
Yeah.
Speaking of playing video games, I finally beat the first part of the Final Fantasy VII remake. I beat the game yesterday. For some reason I thought there was 20 chapters in the game. There's 18 chapters in the game.
I don't think you finished the last 2 chapters.
Yeah, well, the credits rolled, so so I did beat the game. That was
yes, that is true. Corey says, or when you meet your heroes, right? Sometimes it is a mood destroyer.
Yeah,
that is very true.
Yeah, don't meet your heroes.
Yeah.
I bought the first 2 Final Fantasy remake games on Steam. They were on sale for like fucking 70% off or some shit like that. It is 145 gigs. Yeah. It's a big game. I do have the space. I have like 15 gigabytes of space, or no, 15 terabytes of space on my computer.
Better with that kind of size.
Yeah. So, couple of things I want to button up in the game before I move on to the second one, but overall, fantastic game. Fantastic. They did a great job with it. I know the third and final installment, I think it's coming out next year. It's funny because Final Fantasy 7 came out, I think 97, 98. Right. And it didn't have.
If it finds out, I'm going to freak out. It's like go bad.
And it didn't have voiceovers in it. Final Fantasy 7.
Oh. We're looking up the date here.
1997, yeah. January 31st, 97. Didn't have original voiceovers for it. And I played it. I don't think I ever beat Final Fantasy 7 because it came out on the PlayStation 1. And I played it. I had a PS1 back then. And but like you add voices to these characters. One, I know I said it when I initially started playing this game, which was a couple months ago. It was right before we went to Vegas for our vacation. And Cloud is such a wet blanket. And you start seeing him kind of evolve as a character. But holy fuck, Barrett. So this, you kind of fall in this, the first part of the game. There's 4 characters for the majority of the game. It's Cloud, Tifa, Aerith, and Barrett. Those are the 4 playable characters in the game. And holy fuck, Barrett is so goddamn annoying. So, he's a big, you play the game, you join in kind of an eco-terrorist group called Avalanche, and Tifa and Barrett are kind of running it. And Barrett is a very large black guy with a Gatling gun for his right arm and regular hand for his left, and he is just so fucking annoying.
See, that would be your QA job. Okay, yeah. You need to follow Barrett through the entire game over and over.
And he's a big tank. He is a big guy. Yes, he is a very, very big guy. But he is so fucking annoying. And when you're playing the game originally, you're just reading text pop-ups, right? You're just reading the text pop-ups, and you're like, that's kind of annoying. Now there's a voice to him. And I'm not saying like the voice acting is phenomenal in the game. It really is. But his character just in general is, he's a hothead, run and gun, got to do this, got to do it right now, blah, 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 and it's just like, shut the fuck up, man. Oh my God. And like, one of the main sounds in Final Fantasy when you win a battle goes, but Barrett does that.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, but he goes da 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 da, and I was like, oh my God, shut the. Each character kind of says their own thing at the end of a battle at different intervals and stuff.
That's his.
Yeah, Tifa's one of his is that. Tifa's is really funny. It's just like, oh, I worked up a sweat with that one, and then another one is like, oh, I could really use a shower after that. And it's just like. And it's just like, so Cloud doesn't say anything. Cloud is this ex-soldier, which is it's not like a soldier what you think. It's the soldier program is like genetically manipulated humans that are stronger. So that soldier, but it's all in capitals, that have a shortened lifespan. They're gonna die eventually from this program and what they've done to them and shit.
That's the trade-off.
Yes, but yeah, Barrett is so fucking annoying, and there's a lot of annoying characters in Final Fantasy 7. Katsith, which I think is in the second game that's coming out, the second part, because the Final Fantasy game came out in 3 discs. Are you a text reader, or do you just through the original?
For the listening audience, Corey says, are you a reader of text, or did you just fly through the original? One of my college mates would just skip dialogue, and I'm thinking, what are you doing?
I mean, here's the thing. Back in the day, like, you had to read the text. You know, if you didn't read the text and it was like, oh, we got to go do this, you know, some of these open world games, Final Fantasy was kind of on a linear map kind of thing. But like sometimes you had to read text, and it would always trip me out too when people would skip through reading text. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? You got to know where you're
You got to know where you're doing.
So I was a text reader, but when voice acting started to come through games and more and more regularly to where it's kind of like a standard thing now. I didn't read text then. I just listened to the cutscene. But yeah, text was a text was
it seems like it's the integral part of the game at that point.
It is. And you'll see more or less like Corey, you and I that are much older, you know, we'll still typically read the texts as well because we grew up reading text.
Sure.
You know, we didn't have back in my day, we didn't have no voiceovers.
We had to walk 4 miles to play the game and there was no voiceovers.
Yeah. So when a game doesn't offer voice acting, which in my opinion, if a game doesn't offer voice acting, it is a major red flag for me, and it's kind of a turn off. But yes, I read the text when there's no voice acting. When there's voice acting, I don't read shit. I didn't fucking play a game to read a book. God damn it.
Do we have anything else about that?
Final Fantasy? No, I'm looking forward to starting the second one. So
I wanted to ask you about the Street Fighter movie. Have you seen the trailer for it?
I have.
Okay, so what do you think?
I don't think it looks terrible. I know I'm not a huge fan of fighting games, so I'm not a big fan of fighting games in general. So like, it looks entertaining. I don't know how true, but I know Street Fighter fans are, you know,
very excited, or
on the fence on it.
Oh, okay.
On the fence over it.
Andrew, you didn't like Mortal Kombat 2 all that much, right? Or
I loved Mortal Kombat.
Which one didn't you like? Oh, that was Master Chief. It had nothing to do with it. Never mind.
Yeah, the first Mortal Kombat movie, the remake movie they did, was fucking weird. Didn't make a whole lot of sense. Had this really weird fucking side story, you know, main storyline to it of the bloodline of Scorpion and so on and so forth. Fucking bizarre. And I feel like they really fixed a lot of that in the second movie.
Yeah, I enjoyed the second one too.
I actually just recently watched it on HBO Max too, because it's on HBO Max. Right. Yeah, I think it's a great movie.
So, because I compared the two, I mean, honestly, when I first saw the trailer for Street Fighter started, I thought, are they doing another Mortal Kombat already? This is crazy.
Yeah.
And then, Street Fighter. And there are similarities. I mean, both based on fighting games.
Both based on fighting games and stuff, but I hit the mic. Yeah,
Did you play Street Fighter?
So I remember, this is a funny story. My old cousins, Dustin and Darren, rest in peace, Dustin. We were over at their house for Christmas. This was obviously ages ago, and they were playing Street Fighter on the Super Nintendo. And we would take turns playing and stuff. And one time, my cousins Dustin and Darren were playing each other, and one of them got so mad they threw the fucking controller into the wall, and it stuck into the wall.
I like to laugh at that more, but I've done that kind of stupid thing too. So
the second Mortal Kombat movie is definitely worth it.
Corey's asking in the chat room. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, the second Mortal Kombat movie is a ton of fun. It's on HBO Max. If you have HBO Max, just put it on there. It's so much fun to watch. They definitely did a lot better with this one than the first Mortal Kombat movie remake they did.
It's not only is it
it's not that the Mortal Kombat remake is a bad movie. I don't think it's a bad movie. It's very entertaining. It just, the storyline doesn't make any sense, and there's like this weird rivalry between Scorpion and Sub-Zero and the bloodline of this and blah blah. It was just a very weird, convoluted story, and then they kind of were like, yeah, they kind of just went back to Mortal Kombat roots with the second one, and
it seemed more fun.
Yeah,
the first one seemed a little too serious. This one seemed more fun.
Kano definitely was the anchor in the Mortal Kombat 1 movie. It's so much so they brought him back to life in the second movie. So
yeah, that's right. That's right.
But
That's what I'm curious about Street Fighter. I don't know. It looks goofier than Mortal Kombat 2.
Yes. Yeah. Well, because it has Mortal Kombat, or not Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter has a much larger cast in it. I know a lot of the Street Fighter fans are concerned about the casting in the Street Fighter movie. Andrew Schultz. Any thoughts on the new Resident Evil movie coming out in September?
Big thoughts.
I'm excited for the Resident Evil movie coming out. Isn't it the same dude that did that? Was the same dude that did the Evil Dead movie?
He did Barbarian. Zach Kroger is the guy who's doing it. He did Barbarian. Have you seen Barbarian?
That's the cellar one,
yeah,
right? The basement one.
Yeah,
I have not seen that.
Terrifying movie, which is why this one's exciting. This is if you've seen the trailer for it,
yes,
it looks really good. It looks like they've really nailed it, and that Kroger's taking it to his levels
too, I guess.
Oh, that's right. I knew there was something between weapons. So, I'm very excited about that. When does that open? Anybody know?
September 18th.
Okay, there we go. So that's next month. Damn, these movies are just flowing this month.
Yeah. The new Resident Evil movie looks really good. It's about a guy delivering an organ to Raccoon City.
There's a lot of stories about that this year.
Raccoon City before the outbreak happens. Yeah. So
there's been 2 movies with Alan Richardson where he's about a liver transplant, and then this movie's about organ transplant.
I'm more excited for the Resident Evil movie. It looks chilling. It feels encroaching, which is terrifying to me.
That's exactly right. It's a great 100%. Description, Corey. Yep.
But yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it.
Really good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And that the guy's going to get basically free reign, which means the studio won't get in there and screw it up. Hopefully. Because he's had to, because Weapons was so huge and it generated an Oscar win. So yeah, I think it's going to be. I can't wait.
The one thing I can't stand with video game movies is that, and I think studios are starting to realize, but like, especially in the past, is they'll take a video game franchise and you've said this many times, studio, the producers better. And we'll make it better. Well, we'll take this out and we'll add this.
Video game sold 100 million copies, but we're going to make it better.
We're going to make it better. No, we don't. The fucking Super Mario Brothers movie. Oh my God.
Which made a lot of money though.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's
no. The original.
Oh,
the original Super Mario Brothers movie, the live action one.
Bob Hoskins.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a little different. That didn't make so much money.
No, that one did not make money. That one, the studios, I'm sure they were like, we can make this a better franchise.
Yeah, and I've been sitting in rooms with executives. I realize this guy sold 40 million books, but we can make it better. You can't. That's why it's there already. Shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sir Anthony Hopkins as Bowser. Yep, that's the one.
Okay, see, that alone makes me want to see it. So Sir Anthony Hopkins
as the original. You've never seen the original Super Mario Bros?
Oh, okay. When it first came out, I saw it in theaters. But I don't remember him being in it. But Hannibal Lecter as Bowser.
Yeah,
it's kind of fun.
Yeah, I think he was Bowser. Yeah, I think that was him.
I do love Anthony Hopkins.
And here's the thing. I remember seeing that as a kid and having a lot of fun with it, not really. Because, here's the thing. When that movie came out, the Super Mario Brothers was, I don't even know if it was 16-bit. I think it was 16-bit. It was just dots and squares, that you were just jumping. And, it wasn't like super. I mean, at the time, it was super high tech. But, there was so much more to the imagination of a child. And so, that being released, don't forget Super Mario. Oh yeah, the Super Mario Brother TV show. I remember that.
Was it a variety show?
It was a cartoon, and then it would have a live action thing. I think either at the beginning or the end of it, right, Corey? That it would have a live action Mario at the end of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was like a cartoon, and then it would have a live action Mario. I could be wrong. I swear Yeah,
He says
bookends.
bookends.
Yeah, and it would have like a Mr. Rogers-esque like Mario at the beginning and end of it, and then it would go to the cartoon, and then it would end with live action Mario.
That's fun.
Yeah, I remember that too. Yeah.
I haven't seen that movie since it was in theaters. That's how long it's been, and I would watch it again just because sometimes you watch a movie. One example I always think of is The Hitchhiker with Rutger Hauer. I saw that movie in theaters 3 times because I loved it so much. It was so great. It was bloody, it was violent, it was scary. And I told my son one night, probably a decade later, we got to sit down and watch this movie because it's so good. And we're sitting there watching it, and he looks at me and goes, "You thought this was good, Dad?" And I go, "Yeah, I did. It's not good now."
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't last. Sometimes they get better.
Yeah.
So I'll watch it again just for that. So.
But another example of studios ruining movies. And I think now the internet has so much more of a voice and shit, but Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, yeah.
When they released that, they actually postponed the movie because how hard the internet bullied the studio over releasing
and
this.
They improved it.
And they improved it, and it ended up being a phenomenal movie.
Yeah.
So
I still haven't seen the second one.
I actually saw Dark Knight like 3 or 4 times in the theaters.
Oh, well, yeah. Corey's saying that in the chat room.
Corey said he saw Dark Knight 7 times.
Well, it's a great movie.
Yeah.
It's a great movie. Have you seen the second Sonic, though?
Sonic's teeth was, I love it. Sonic's teeth was it wasn't just
part of it.
It was a part of it. Sonic's design overall looks bizarre and weird.
Weird
his
and
face,
soft and
his face was really oddly shaped and stuff. And and then they made it more video game accurate. And the movie phenomenal. I mean, they postponed the movie to update the CGI, and they did it. And the internet repaid that kindness with
monster box office. And it's enough to generate a sequel. I don't know that the sequel did enough to generate a sequel. There's not a third one, is there?
No, I think they're making a third one though.
Yeah, and we'll see if Corey. Oh, that's a good point. Corey says, "I want to see Coyote versus Acme in theaters as a big shove it to the executives who shelved it." That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And have you seen the Rotten Tomatoes numbers for that?
Huge.
Like 96%.
Yeah, 96%.
The studio cancel it as a tax shelter.
Yeah, that's the isn't John Cena in that movie?
John Cena's in it. He plays Acme's lawyer.
Okay.
And the Coyote is suing Acme because of all the damages and injuries he had fighting the Roadrunner because their stuff didn't work right.
Yeah.
God, it sounds awesome.
Yeah.
So we'll find out this weekend. All right, we are out of here, folks.
We are out of here. Thank you all for joining. I'm going to send you over to Hey You Video Games. It looks like Gimmick's doing a 24-hour stream.
Nice.
They're playing War Dogs right now. That's the game I was invited to play.
Uh-huh.
So Hey You Video Games is a duo streaming buddies. One, Lemon streams typically in the mornings, and then Gimmick streams in the evenings, and I think on Wednesday and Thursdays they duo stream. So
cool.
But we're gonna send you over there. Let's see if I can send them. But give them a follow. They're a fantastic streaming duo. So, alrighty. Well, we'll see you next week.
Yep. Ready to go?
Ready to go.
We're out. Brought to you by The Grape, Ventura County's premier jazz venue and cocktail lounge, located at 2733 East Main Street in Ventura. For menu and music schedule, visit them online at thegrape.club. This has been a Rough Edge Studios production.